Yo, what's up guys, it's King Sean here, and in today's video, I want to talk about Jadeveon Clowney getting released by the Carolina Panthers today, and whether or not the Commanders should target him if they feel like adding another edge rusher in free agency. And also, I want to talk about rookie minicamp before it starts tomorrow. The rookies reported to the facility today. They'll get on the practice field tomorrow, so want to talk about rookie minicamp a little bit today, basically previewing it. So before we get into today's video, make sure y'all leave a like down below, subscribe if you're not already subbed up, and turn on notifications. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into today's video. Alright, so let's start with Jadeveon Clowney. He was released earlier today by the Carolina Panthers. They saved around $7 million from that move, and it makes sense, right? They drafted Nick Scorton and Princely Umanmielen this past draft, and they also signed former Vikings DN Patrick Jones II, which I feel like is pretty underrated. I think he had 9 sacks either this past season or back in 2023, but he's pretty solid. So they are transitioning to the younger route at edge rusher. They're adding more youth to their roster, so they decided to get rid of an older guy in Jadeveon Clowney. Clowney signed with the Panthers last year, I think on a 2-year deal. He's from South Carolina. Obviously, he went to school at South Carolina, the University of South Carolina, so made sense for him to go back to Carolina, play for the Panthers, and he's been everywhere at this point after playing for the Texans. He was with the Seahawks, the Browns, the Ravens, and the Titans, so all those different teams, right? So he's been with so many teams at this point, so he doesn't mind going to another team, playing at all these stops, right? So I feel like if we feel like we need, and by we I mean the front office, if the front office, Adam Peters and company, the coaching staff feel like they need to do something to add another guy or try and improve the edge rusher room before the season starts, Jadeveon Clowney may be an option they consider in free agency. Looking at Jadeveon Clowney's numbers over the past couple of seasons, he had 5.5 sacks this past season with the Panthers, playing only 14 games, so even though he was out a couple of games, he still put up 5.5 sacks, which is not bad for where Clowney is at this point of his career. The season before with the Ravens, he had 9.5 sacks, which is pretty good, and he parlayed that production into a 2-year deal with the Panthers last offseason, which is, really good deal for him, but obviously they just released him, so, that ended quickly, but he has shown good production over the past 2 years, and back in 2021 with the Browns, and that was 4 years ago, but he had 9 sacks, so pretty good production for Jadeveon Clowney over the past few years for sure. He's a guy that is able to stop the run and get after the quarterback, and that was the biggest problem with Dante Fowler Jr. He was purely a direct pass rusher, a situational pass rusher. He could not stop the run at all, which is why you rarely saw him on the field on passing situations, or not passing situations, sorry, run situations, right? On first down, second down, right? You only saw him on like third down or passing situations, right? So that was the biggest problem with Dante Fowler Jr. So you had to take him off the field on like first and second downs. But for Jadeveon Clowney, you don't have to do that because he can not only get to the quarterback, but he can also stop the run at a pretty good level, which is one of the reasons as to why I would sign Jadeveon Clowney, which I'll get to a little more in a second. But those are his numbers over the past few years, and those are pretty good numbers. PFF gave him a 70.8 overall grade this past season, a 73.2 pass rush grade, and a 63.4 run defense grade. So those grades from PFF, and I know PFF isn't everything, but those grades from PFF show you how good Jadeveon Clowney can be against the pass and against the run. So when it comes to us potentially signing a Jadeveon Clowney, I would not mind it at all. I mean, this is a guy who is able to stop the run and get to the quarterback. He'll be able to give you like 6 to 9 sacks in a season, which is good enough for this year, right? We're probably going to address edge rusher next year. Obviously, we didn't address it this offseason, or at least enough, right? We brought in Jacob Martin and Dietrich Wise, but, those guys aren't huge difference makers along the D-line, so I definitely would bring Jadeveon Clowney. Zadarius Smith is still my number one option, but I would not mind if we went with Jadeveon Clowney over Zadarius Smith if we even decide to sign an edge rusher, because they may still feel like this edge rusher room is good enough for this year. You know, they feel like, or they may feel like that they just don't need to do anything and roll with what they got at edge rusher. I wouldn't, but if they did, then, well, we would have to be okay with it. But once again, if we were to sign Jadeveon Clowney or consider signing him, I would definitely be okay with it. And I personally myself would probably go ahead and acquire Jadeveon Clowney because we do need more stuff at edge rusher. Now I want to briefly talk about rookie minicamp before we get to rookie minicamp tomorrow. Tomorrow is when the rookies step out onto the field for the very first time. And I'm excited, although it's only 2 days and we won't get a whole lot of information. We should still get some information on how some guys are looking, like Josh Connolly Jr. Obviously, since he's an O-line, we really won't get a true feeling of, you know, how he is until we get to training camp when the pads come on, right? But excited to hear, you know, how he moves. I don't think there will be much 11-on-11 drills because I don't think it'll be enough players for that. But, you know, just want to see how he moves because obviously we know he's a fantastic mover, right? Just want to hear some positive things about Josh Connolly Jr. over rookie minicamp for sure. Obviously, Trey Amos, how he's looking out there. Jalen Lane, I saw his IG story just a moment ago. He was getting his helmet fitted, so, you know, that's cool right there. Excited to see his speed really show during rookie minicamp. Want to hear some good things about him. And all the other rookies as well. Cam Adrano, Corey Krosky-Merritt, some of the UDFAs, Ja'Cory Brooks. Obviously, Gabe Taylor was invited. He was not signed, but he was invited to rookie minicamp for a tryout. And I'm rooting for Gabe Taylor. If he shows out, then he could get signed to the 90-man roster, right? You never know, but definitely rooting for him for sure. And obviously, all the other undrafted free agent rookies as well. So, super excited for rookie minicamp. We'll definitely be updating you guys tomorrow, posting some highlights on my page. So, make sure y'all stay tuned. And those are my thoughts on rookie minicamp before it actually starts up tomorrow. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're not already subbed up. Comment down below whether or not you would sign Jadeveon Clowney to the roster. And comment down below your day before rookie minicamp thoughts and what you're most looking forward to seeing or hearing from the Commanders rookie minicamp. And other than that, it's been King Sean and I'm out. Peace.